D-boy. West Coast. Where are we at? Uncensored. We don't censor shit here. Sorry for the... We don't play games. We don't. And this goes with it. Like I said, we're into the last day of the fall season. We already talked about in the previous videos, fall, the season. The sun moving away from the highest point, moving to the other side, which brings winter. So fall represents the fall, right? Leaves fall. Guess where they got the word fall, man? It's connected to the seasons. Know it. Learn it. Enlightenment, that revelatory kickoff enlightenment that you have within you, activation. And on some of my former videos, we talked about being activated, right? We've talked about frequency, people operating from a different vibration and frequency that others aren't on and expecting to have it. And I've been in that place. I expected people, man, they just don't get it. They don't understand. Just like, oh my God, how do you still believe that? They can't. They can't upload to your frequency. That's just a fact. They cannot connect. They can't plug into that frequency and vibration when you know that you're on. It's just a fact. And accepting that and dealing with but you can't let anybody's frequency and vibration where they're at make your days bad, because your mission is for you is still raise it. It is. If that's on the path you're on. If you're not on this path, and I'm speaking Bolshevik, and I'm just throwing out a language, unless you're open-minded. If you're open-minded got a parachute. When they fall, they land softly. Be closed-minded, you fall, you land, break in pieces. My friends, break in pieces. So I'm going to talk about another word, but we're in that season, right? We're going into the winter, the death of winter type of dying out. Because it's all about, this goes with the former stories, Egypt, the fall into the birds who raise, I can't even remember the name of the bird, but it raises up out of the ashes, right? Breathe deep, in and out. As much as you breathe in, breathe out. Learn that. This will take you through a front door of openings and portals if you learn to meditate with your breathing. Yes, front doors. Breathe in, breathe out, and learn to do it. There's many practices to breathe in and breathe out that helps you. Even talking about people have taken, different substances for this, which work, but if you learn to breathe in and breathe out, you can do that without them. Hear what I'm saying? Without them. Nothing against them if you're going to try them and take them. Nothing. I did it before too. Yeah, I admitted it. Man. Busting traditions is what I do here. Because the traditions are dogma and belief systems that are created for programming and they're LIES, and they're a foundation of a lot here that doesn't stand because the foundation is not good. It's the kind of foundations that don't stand forever. And they don't need to. They don't need to. They need to perish. Time for a perishing of that. Like a death of fall. But in the story, the perishing of that goes even with the perishing of the 3 days, December 21st, December 25th, which is scientific that the sun doesn't have that movement for those 3 days. They called it in the tomb, and on the 25th it starts going upwards again, starts having that movement upwards, and they would call coming out of the tomb or raising from the dead. Sound familiar to stories, former stories? Because it is. Booyah. Truth. If you got the frequency to hang with it. You don't get it, you ain't. Your frequency can't connect, you can't connect the plug. Got to raise it. So I'm about raising mine. I think at this time it's very, 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 very ultimate, top of the list important. And all that comes with it. And that means working on yourself. I call it getting after yourself. I found out by having simple things of after the things that you're familiar, your conscious open, you see your weaknesses and strength better than anybody else does. If you don't, you're not aware. Right? I said awareness is a tool. So you need to see the awareness that you have, you know the things that kind of through your life hampered you, holds you back. Get after yourself. That's what I call it. Because grandparents used to say, I'm going to get after you if you do wrong. You didn't do certain things, I'm going to get after you. And that's why I say getting after yourself. You're the best one when you know this, to get after yourself, because nobody knows you like you know you. And be real with yourself. Quit living the fakery of not being real with yourself and passing the buck. What do you call passing the buck? Don't blaming everybody. Blame is lame. If you're lame, you can't walk. Then you need a cane for support. You hear what I'm saying? So don't blame. So I mean little things. Sometimes it's just the little things. Are you a little bit lazy? Are you overactive and don't find rest for yourself? Do you get in people's space all the time? Do you not follow through with things? Whatever yours is, work on that habit. Bad habit. There's habits that are powerful, uplifting habits, right? Good. We call them good habits. Good is just take an O off and you got God, which, look it up. God means German king or German chief. God's a German thing, not a universal thing. It's German. Busting tradition. But it's obvious. All you have to do is Google what language is God. It's going to tell you Germanic. It comes from the German chiefs or the German tribes. Next level stuff. So that's why you add two and you got good. It's the same word. You just added two. It's Germanic. Why I'm saying this is, and then you got the habits that are destructive or don't benefit you, have no benefits, but possibly hold you back from doing all the things, not finishing things, being, what are some of the things you do? Procrastination, right? That's one many people have and struggle with, not following through with goals, not following through, and a lot of this can be connected as the days of your youth. We all had issues. We maybe had different difficulties with breakups and bad parenting, and here's what you need to give to your parents if you realize this. Give them grace, because they didn't know. They didn't know. But what I'm saying is, the word corrupt is the word I wanted to get on. Before we get to that, back again, get after those habits and those things that are after you and start making changes with them. Just take the step, baby steps. That's all it takes to start. You don't have to do anything vast. And if you do quantum leap and take a big hurdle and surge, more power to you. Hats off to you. Salute you. Salute. But the baby steps matter, because those little things matter. And I will be touching why they matter in the future for frequency vibration, and also helping you with different aspects of your growth and knowing how to control certain things when you go to certain places that you can go through this. So what you do is you want to surge, right? Change habits. I call anything that's a habit, and I'm kind of gone farther than I wanted to at the time I'm in this, because I don't like to have long. I'll shorten it if I need to, and I may do that in a second. I'm trying to get a good look at how many minutes. Yeah, that's kind of deep. I may have to do a part 2. But here's what it is. Habits, bad, become hobbits, and they follow you around, like the Lord of the Rings. The hobbits, that's what I kind of correlate. Hobbits and habits. Just the A and the O, right? And add a B, which is a consonant that gives frequency, because bees, when you add the vowel to it. And that's a whole nother subject to get on to. Not to divert, I'm going to head back here. But the word I want to talk about is corrupt. And real quick, so I can end this on this one video. Corrupt. Think about that word, corrupt. Is your core being ruptured? When the core of anything you do has a rupture, it becomes corrupt. It takes on the foundation of the reality of being corrupt. Think about it. This is language, baby. Core, rupt. Rupt is rupture. You guys have a great day. D-Boy West Coast Uncensored. It's all about working in yourself, but you got to put in the work. It don't just come by just... If you're lazy, you know that. Change your laziness. It means find things to do when you have those moments of being lazy. Be aware. The awareness is the best tool. Take the activate yourself. But also learn to breathe. Again, I'll finish with breathing. Meditation. Take the breaths. Learn how to breath and balance your breath. If you're going to breathe in for 5, 6, 7 seconds. Breathe out that much. You're giving back what you're taking. Have a great day, D-Boy. West Coast Uncensored.